I know.
Oh, what happened? What? What? We don't have to do the tarot reading card. It's fine. It was. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that I wanted to show you my deck. What?
I'm so hot. I'm so hot.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Don't worry. I'm not gonna pull my pants down. I swear to God. I'm so sorry. I know. I did this during a really bad time. She's having a panic attack. Okay, should I call for help? Or no, we should just stay. I think I'll stay. Let's stay. I think if we call for help, it'll just make her panic even more.
Me, right? You're fine.
I've had a panic attack once.
You're fine, I promise you.
No, I'm gonna die.
No, listen to me. I promise you right now, you're not gonna
You're gonna
die,
be okay.
okay?
We don't
I'm
have to
not
do the
gonna go
tarot card
anywhere. I'm
reading.
gonna stay right here on the other side.
I
of
will
the screen,
not pull
okay?
down my pants.
So take a minute and it's fine, alright? I'm right here.
Everything will be okay, baby girl. Just breathe in and out. I have an inhaler if you need it. Feel my energy. I'm passing it to the screen. Take my energy. You will take my happiness. Oh, little Safi, don't think too much. Remember, I love you. I mean, it's too soon to say
I'm
that.
so sorry, Vinny. I'm so embarrassed.
Honestly, don't be, alright? We've all got shit to deal with, and
We
support
did it!
is what's most important. So
Just to let you guys know, if your friend or a family member ever gets a panic attack, most of the time, okay, if you can differentiate it, there's like panic attack, and then there's people who have a heart attack. That's a little different. Heart attacks, you need medical attention ASAP. Panic attacks, I've had a couple, and the thing that makes it worse is to have a whole bunch of people like come in and be like, "Are you okay? Oh my God, are you okay? Do we need to call an ambulance?" That like kind of makes it worse. So I think if you just like give them some space, give them like a little bit of a private area just to like like a bathroom or just like in a corner. Usually, like personally for me, that helps a lot. But then you know you have to understand there's a difference between like a panic attack and a heart attack. Okay, so if you get confused, I don't know, maybe ask them like, "Oh, are you having a heart attack?" Well, usually heart attacks they kind of go like, you'll be able to know. You'll know. Yes. Don't crowd around them and be like, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Call 911." That makes them panic more. Oh yeah, and then there's an asthma attack. That's why always carry an inhaler, guys.
alright, I'm just happy I could help.
While we're on the topic, is there anything you want to know about them or me?
We don't have to talk about
How
it
do
if you don't
you
want to,
avoid
okay?
them? You can't avoid them.
No,
How
I
long
think
have
it's
you had
important
them? Let's
part
go
of
with
my
that
life.
one.
I
'Cause
want
I
to
know the
that.
answer to the other one.
How long have you had them?
They started in my mid-teens.
Holy shit!
I don't really know how they started, but like I was always very self-conscious and highly strung, and I never really addressed it. And then it just sort of mutated and got worse.
Damn, that's a long time.
And how old were you when you had your first one?
I was 14.
My first
but I
panic
had
attack
them
was when I
private,
was
so
17.
I didn't really know if it was like real.
In
or,
front of my
like,
dad, and my
nightmare.
dad literally
And then it
was
happened
so
in public,
afraid. Like he doesn't really
in front
know
of my
what a
friends.
panic attack is.
That was
So
definitely
he freaked
real.
out really
And
bad.
then
Like he
when
was
they stopped you too?
crying.
To my face at first, and then they just started phasing out of my life very quickly. But yeah, then I just changed my outlook completely, changed my lifestyle, and I'm so much better for it.
I also didn't even know it was a panic
That's
attack
amazing.
either.
You obviously have a lot
Like
of
that was my first
self-understanding.
one, so I was like, "What the fuck was that?" How did my dad help me? He just
no idea what you're
hugged me.
No, I promise you it's a good one. An empath.
Like he asked me if
An
I needed to
empath,
go to the
that's what you
hospital,
are.
and I said no. So
Yeah.
he just held
I'd
me
say
in
I'm
his
pretty good at-
arms.
Walking another.
Learn from EMT school, heart and panic attack are impossible to distinguish without equipment. learn from experience. Heart attack and costochondritis are impossible to distinguish. Also mimics panic attack if it scares them. Yeah, I do. I think that probably is true. Like it is really hard to distinguish between a heart and panic attack. I think maybe at that point the best thing is probably just to ask if that person needs an ambulance. I don't know. I mean, like if they clearly can't even talk, I think that's a good indicator. And you should just call one in case if it gets to that point. But if they're like, for example, when I had my panic attack and my dad asked me like if I needed to have an ambulance, I clearly told him no because I kind of knew it would pass. I don't know. Maybe like I felt horrible and I thought I was gonna die, but I'm not sure. I wasn't. I'm not too sure actually. I did say something like, "Oh, just give me a few minutes. Like, I don't think I need an ambulance." And you know, he listened to me, so. I'm glad that my first panic attack was with my dad, because I know if it was with my mom would fucking freak out. She'd be like, "Oh my god, call the ambulance!" And I'd like explode. How does it feel like physically? Well, for me, when I had a panic attack, my eyes like visually, like it felt, you know, sometimes how you lack iron and you kind of see like sparks. Like for me, when I had the panic attack, like those sparks like filled my entire vision. Like I couldn't see anything. I felt really woozy. Like I could not stand. Like I had to like either sit down or lie down. Like I could not stand up. And also another thing that's probably important is that you have so much trouble breathing. Like you feel like you are going to drown in oxygen. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's really like scary. And your heart beats so fast that you can't keep up with it. So like if your heart is beating like super duper fast and you're having trouble breathing and you feel like you can't like catch any of your breath, like you literally feel like you're drowning but in air. It's weird. That's the best way I could describe it. Yeah, I think like it also might be different for each person, I'm not sure. But I think the most part is like rapid breathing and heartbeat. Kind of feels like your chest is super tight. Like it literally feels like somebody's crushing your ribs. It's really scary. It randomly happened? You could say that it randomly happened, but honestly, like if you have a history of like being overly stressed, it's not really random if you think about it. Like if you're constantly stressed, and even if you don't like feel stressed in the moment, like all that stress is stored somewhere and it's gonna like probably affect you physically. So I don't think things like that are really random. I think like they happen because it's your way of your body telling you that something's not right. So yeah, I see, so I'm not stressed out enough. No, I think it's like it's not about like the level of stress you get. It's more like how people handle stress. Some people just handle stress better than others, and some people aren't good with handling stress. So it's just really knowing yourself. Like I don't want you guys to think, "Oh yeah, I'm not stressing enough, which is why I'm not getting these." That doesn't make much sense, because stress is stress. It's just how the stress affects you and how you deal with it. This used to happen to me a while back, and I never even realized it might be a panic attack until now. I just powered through them, which was probably a bad idea. No, same for me. I really did not even know that was my panic attack. Like I was so confused what it was until like a couple years later, where I'm like, shit, I've had a panic attack before. It wasn't until like somebody else described their feeling where I realized what I had like 5 years prior. It's insane. I had no idea. It was weird. Somebody was like, "Oh my god, I had a panic attack and I felt like I couldn't breathe and blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh shit, I know what that feels like." I'm curious if it's healthier to avoid the triggers or find a way to deal with them so you can overcome them. I think if you want to overcome something, you should always like have like a professional help you. Like I wouldn't really recommend powering through, because I do that a lot. Like I'm the type of person to like power through, and it's like made me a very tired person. Like it's made me very numb in a bad way. It's made me very like cynical. Like I realized recently that sometimes when my friends are in a little bit of a predicament, well, not in a big one. Let's say somebody like, I don't know, damages their car, and then they are super duper upset over it, and they're like on the verge of like crying. Even though they're like, you know, not hurt, it's just that the car that they really like got damaged. But I had a really big problem at some point where I would kind of be like, oh my god, seriously, this is nothing. Like, it's just a damaged car, you're not even hurt, like, you know. Like, imagine being in a car crash and you actually, like, you know, losing a hand or something. Like, you really need to... Like, I think saying stuff like that isn't really helpful. And, you know, maybe it might, like, make somebody be a little bit more quote-unquote grateful, but I don't think it's good for me. Like, I always did that. I still sometimes do that, actually. Because I've been through a lot and I carry that all the time. And so when other people tell me their problems, I'm kind of like, that's nothing. But that's not good. And that makes me feel bad, you know? Like, it makes me feel, like, more isolated when I kind of, in a way, look down on other people's problems. So, I try not to do that anymore. Or at least, like, I catch myself and I'm more aware of it. Because there's been a few people who've told me, like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm not as strong as you. Or I just don't have, like, the mental capacity to really bear it. So for me, this is really upsetting. And it wasn't until, like, they told me stuff like that where I sort of realized, like, oh yeah, it's true. Like, everyone's different. It might not be a big deal to me, but it might be really upsetting to someone else. But the feeling is still the same. Like, I remember when I was most upset, it was really upsetting. So they must be feeling like that too, even though the situation is different. So I really learned to, like, and I'm still learning to be, like, accepting and at least to, like, give a little bit of sympathy because they're not me. So what was I trying to talk about? I can't remember the point of the thesis. Oh yeah, so that's kind of like the result of me enduring so much things, you know. There's a lot of things that I powered through, and maybe I did power through, but I did sacrifice something, and so I wouldn't really recommend it. So I say that, you know, if you want to overcome something, I think you should do it the proper way, which is like with a professional. And if you know that certain things trigger you or make you like super duper like unable to function, just try your best to avoid it if you can. Because I mean, like, why would you ever put yourself in a situation where you can't function unless you absolutely had to? Then I think then there's not much choice then to power through, but that would be a good indicator to sort of like get professional help, to have somebody help you overcome or cope with something. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest enduring and overcoming something by yourself, because I mean, you're probably going to like lose something, you know? Lose something as in like not super duper fully be at peace at yourself. You'll like kind of grow up to be sort of like oh yeah, I'm really strong, I can do anything, and then one day you'll be like, oh, why is life so hard, and break down, you know? You'll break down harder. The more you overcome by yourself, the harder you'll break down the next time. Unfortunately, at least for me. Maybe some people do it better than me, so I'm not sure. But I do feel like going the professional route is the best way. I personally feel attacked. I don't mean to attack you. If it's that relatable, then I'm glad, but I'm just saying my experiences, that's all. Goodbye, guys. おつわな。Bye.